Yo folks, how y'all doing today? Welcome to today's video. I'm Tony Ray. We'll be talking about bluegrass chords. Basically, let's talk about the three chords and the truth, which is what a lot of old timers like to call it. And I guess I'm an old timer, so that's what I'll call it as well. We're going to be looking at G, C, and D, which are these right here. Now, it sounds decent being just those three chords. It'll get you through tons of songs. But let's try to colorize that by adding maybe a G7. And you would add that in after you're going from your G to your C chord. So you have... But there's some different variations and different passing chords that you can use that will help colorize it, which I always like to think of these chords as colors just to add a little bit of flavor. So the first variation is this chord right here. You have your thumb hooked around the neck, which is kind of a bit of a stretch. You hook that onto your sixth string, having your G in the bass. And you basically form an F chord and leave the first string open. So when you're playing a slower tune, it just adds a nice little softness to it. The other one is this right here. You want to take your ring finger and place that on the bass instead of hooking your thumb around like the last one. This is more, I like to call it a slam chord going into C. So if you're playing a hard driving tune, adds a little bit of dirtiness to it. Let's put that in the G, C, and D progression. There are certain times when you're playing out of D chord. A good 7 chord for that is this right here, which you can use going from D to G. Which all I'm doing is basically making an A minor without the ring finger. You'll see that I'm hooking my thumb around, and that's simply a bad habit of mine, but also it kind of helps deaden that lower string for me if I just happen to hit it, because that's a little too much for my ear. So let's add that in with our other G7. So we'll go from G to our different colorized version of G7 to C, then we'll hit D, then we'll go to our colorized version of D7, and then go back to G. Thank you all so much for tuning in. See you next time. This is horrible, right?
Totally fine. We'll use it for
This will be bloopers,
yeah,
right?
bloopers at the end.
Practical joke. Woo.